Hello. Yeah, I think so. Now it should be audible to everybody. Can I get a quick confirmation on chat? क्या सबको मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्लियरली? Now the audio is clear. Okay, perfect. Chalo, thank you very much, guys. We're going to be starting out. So, first of all, congratulations to everybody who has cleared the exam. Okay, now I'll just first talk about the people who have cleared, and then I'll go towards people who could not clear. Okay, so people who have passed the exam. Okay, now the basic query that a lot of these students are asking, okay, is that whether I should go for May exam or whether I should go for August exam, okay, for their FRM level 2. Okay, now when you're doing the analysis whether you should go for May or level August, the first thing that you should ask that on a daily basis how much time you will be able to allocate. Okay, so when I'm talking about May exam and you're starting just now, okay, when you're starting just now, then if you're a student, you're a full-time student and you can dedicate around 4 to 5 hours daily, 4 to 5 hours daily, then only you should go for the May exam. Okay, if you're working professional, again you need to have good amount of time, 4 to 5 hours, then only you should go for May exam. Okay, if you're not able to compensate, suppose I'm just taking second situation, if you're working, if you're going to work, 1 second, there's some issue. One second, guys. There's some system issue. Yes. Okay. So I was not able to write properly. Sorry. So if you are a working professional, okay, then ideally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to identify that when you're working, okay, on a weekday, whether you are able to dedicate 2 hours. Okay, I'm talking from the May exam perspective. Okay, and on Saturdays and Sundays, that means weekend, okay, you should be able to at least dedicate 7 hours. Okay, then you should go for May exam. Okay, this video will go on the channel, so it will be available, so don't worry. Okay, now if you're going for an August exam, okay, for your FRM level 2, then primarily you need on a weekday basis, roughly around 1 hour, okay, 1 hour for the initial 2 months, basically Jan and Feb. Okay, but after that you have to increase it to 2 hours. You have to increase it to roughly 2 hours for all the other months. And on weekends, okay, on weekends, what you can do is you can initially dedicate around 2 to 3 hours, and for the initial month, say Jan or Feb, and then gradually increase it to around 4 to 5 hours. Okay, just to summarize, if you're a working professional, my suggestion, sorry, I'll just write it properly, working professional, then my suggestion is that you should ideally go for August exam. for your FRM level 2. Okay, for your FRM level 2. Now let us come to those students who could not clear. Okay, so there are a lot of students who could not clear their level 1 and their level 2. Okay, so FRM level 1 you could not clear. I'm going slightly slow for all the students because there's a lot of students who are going to be joining late. Okay, so how you are supposed to do the analysis? Okay, so obviously this question that is there in everybody's mind is whether I should go for May and August. I'll come to that, but how you should check your performance. Okay, so first of all, check your result. Check your result. Okay, in that result, if you're getting, okay, 4th quartile, or if you're getting 3rd quartile in any of the book, then you need to ask yourself, okay, then you need to ask yourself specific question with respect to those quartiles, with respect to those book. For example, I got 4th quartile in 4th book. Okay, then the first question that I'm going to ask, whether I have covered, the first question that I'll ask is whether I have covered full book in my preparation. Full book, that means whether I've completed all the chapters in my preparation before I went to the actual exam. Okay, for both level 1, level 2, I'm talking generic thing now. Okay, the next question that you have to ask is whether I have solved, okay, the question bank, okay, properly. And when I'm saying question bank properly, that means for each chapter, I'm not talking about mock papers. Okay, so ask yourself which chapter you skipped, because see, most likely if you're getting a very low quartile in a particular book, these two will be the major reasons. I could not read the book properly, I skipped certain chapters, or I skipped certain chapters solving. This is going to be the major problem. There are few students who might have faced this issue that, okay, they have read everything, they have studied, they've solved everything, but the quality of the question bank, is very, very important to judge whether I solved very easy questions or whether I solved very difficult questions. So a lot of students, they go for the exam with solving of only Swagger questions, which is not recommended because they are very easy. Okay, a lot of students, they solve only BT questions and then they realize that, okay, this was way too tough and I got demotivated. So you also need to ask yourself, what was the quality of the question? This is the broader analysis that you should do at the start. Okay, then my suggestion to all the students would be, sit back and analyze your journey from the day you started your preparation till the day of the exam. You can bifurcate the entire journey, okay, into broadly 3 parts. Okay, and I want you to analyze those 3 part in detail. Okay, so first part, okay, the overall preparation period. Okay, preparation period in the sense, I was watching the video or I was reading the textbook, I was getting accomplished to the syllabus for the first time. Okay, so I'm highlighting it as a preparation period. Now when you over here, you have to ask questions like this: which book I was reading? Now why am I saying this? Because a lot of students, they read from GARP, the institute book. Okay, they read from GARP and then they realize that they wasted a lot of time into that because it is slightly tough. So my recommendation is to you prefer only Kaplan Swagger because that is easy to read and the concept is also good, good way explained. Okay, then again you have to ask the very basic question that when you were reading, okay, so, okay, whether I was using any video lectures, okay, or I was doing self preparation. One second. Whether I was doing any self preparation. So video lectures or self preparation, a lot of students, they go with self preparation. My experience, they underestimate the exam slightly. They feel that okay, only reading the textbook will be helpful because they have given some previous exam and they have cleared. But FRM is a very different ball game. So and once they give the exam, they realize that the exam level requires your good understanding of the concept. So whether you used video lecture or self preparation, how much it helped you in your preparation, that also you need to do the analysis. Okay. One more problem, I'm just writing the third point slightly on the next third point. I'll just write it over here. Okay, the next analysis, the next thing that you should ask during the preparation period, did you focus only on theory or did you focus only on solving? Solving means the quant part, the calculation related section. Okay, now why am I asking this question? Why am I explicitly highlighting this? Okay, why am I explicitly highlighting? Because lot of students, okay, they are not aware that the pattern of the exam in the last 3-4 exam has moved to theory. Okay, so what happens, they end up spending a lot of time solving book 3 related financial markets related questions, VAR related question, but in the actual exam right now 25% is only the questions which are related to calculation, direct calculation. Majority of the others are focused on theory. So your understanding has to be very good, your concept clarity has to be very good. So did you focus on the theory part or not? Then you have to also focus whether you gave proper time. Okay, whether you gave proper time to book 3 or book 4. Okay, book 3 or book 4. Majority of the students, if those who have failed, okay, they might have failed because of these two books. Okay, because see, a lot of students, they start with book 3 and they give heavy time to book 3, but they ignore book 4. They ignore book 4 because this is not the similar concept which they have seen in the history. They have not seen in any of their previous exams. So what happens, they only stick to book 3. They spend a lot of time, they solve a lot of time, so they become very good at that, but they ignore book 3. And book 3, book 4, I am explicitly writing because it is a heavy weightage book. So from the exam perspective, you cannot ignore these two books. Okay, there is one more point which I have noticed while talking to a lot of students, is that they underestimate book 1 because it is theory. So what happens, lot of students, when they read it, okay, majority content is theory, when they read, they feel okay, this is good book because I'm also working, it is more or less a generic thing. But when you go to the actual exam, they will ask you questions which are combined into 2-3 chapters. They will talk about culture, they will talk about the risk appetite of the company, so it becomes tough. Okay, so do a proper assessment of your preparation, where you made a mistake from the day you started the preparation till the time you went to mock papers. I'm talking about that preparation period. Did you use a proper book? Did you use a proper methodology? Was there a plan in your preparation? Okay, was there a mentor available to guide you? Okay, then did you only focus on solving or did you only focus on theory? What was the time allotted to each book? Okay, whether you only focused on book 3, a lot of students do that. Okay, a lot of students are afraid of book 2, so they spend more time because they feel that okay, I don't know this book, so I'll spend more time on that. So whether the time management happened properly, did you underestimated specific book? I've seen book 1 being underestimated heavily in the exam. Okay, so this is the overall level of check that you should do for the preparation part. I'll move to the second phase of your preparation. I'll just write it over here. The second phase, which is basically solving. Now when I'm saying solving, I'm explicitly focusing on mock papers, okay, and sectional test. If you have, or book wise test, I'll write it like book wise test. Okay, I'll also be addressing the queries which you have posted on the chat section. If you have query, you can post it on there. I'll keep on answering it in between. Okay. Okay, for level 2, Eknath, I'm answering to your query. For level 2, majority of the questions out of 80, you will find 65 theory, 15 maximum calculation driven, and calculations are very easy. Major focus is on theory. They are testing you on theory heavily. Okay, in terms of your understanding, especially book credit risk and the market risk book. Okay. For level 2, Swagger is sufficient. So don't worry. You can just go through the Swagger, understand everything there in the Swagger, and solve a good question bank. Okay. Let us move towards the second phase of your preparation, which was solving mock papers. Now, what I have seen, okay, when I talk to a lot of students who have could not clear the exam, okay, they solved maximum one mock. Okay, one mock, and that too they focused only on GARP sample paper. Now, GARP sample paper is good. Okay, it gives you an idea about what can come into your exam. But when you solve a mock paper, the one of the reasons you do it because you are able to manage your time. You are able to sit for that 4 hours properly. Okay. Next, you understand that okay, when you're reading the entire book together, okay, which book is creating a problem for you, which chapter is creating a problem for you. So if you have not solved, my recommendation is to solve at least 2 to 3 mocks for your exam. 2 to 3 mocks, and one of them should be your GARP sample paper. Okay, one of them should be your GARP sample paper. Okay, that should be your overall mock paper strategy. Lot of students they don't look at the overall book. Okay, if you are able to get a book wise test, do the book wise test, because what happens, say for example in level 2 you have operations risk, 25 around chapters. Okay, when you go and solve mock, okay, it does not give you the complete picture where within that 25 chapter you're making a mistake. When you do sectional test, you're able to understand that how the sectional test is bifurcating the questions, how each chapter is creating a problem for me. Okay, so sectional test, lot of students don't give. Probably they do not have time. Okay, so my recommendation is definitely go for sectional test if you are getting it. Okay, if you are getting it. Now the third phase of your entire journey of your exam was the actual exam date. Actual exam date. Okay, now lot of students, they faced problem or the challenge on the actual exam date. So I'm going to highlight this part. Okay, panic. I have seen students taking the pressure of the exam 1 or 2 days before the exam or in the morning of the exam, and when they go to the exam, okay, they are not able to read the question properly, because in the mind they have assumed that the paper is going to be tough, and they panic when they see a slightly tough question. Even the question might be very heavy, but the solution or the answer might be very simple, but because you panic, you become nervous, you create a problem in the entire thing. Okay, next thing that I realized that a lot of students are facing problem is managing time. Okay, so the 4 hour 100 question, it seems very easy on paper, but when you actually sit and give the actual FRM exam, okay, you realize that there are 5 to 7 questions which you do not get time on an average for a lot of students. So time management was a big problem, and it historically also, and even though the paper pattern has become slightly question driven, theoretical driven, still time management has become a challenge, because what they are doing now is either they are asking you a very big question or they are asking you a very big options which are very close to each other, and people who have given the exam, they would realize this when I'm saying the options, out of 4 options you are able to eliminate 2 options very easily, but the other 2 options will become so close that it will test your reading, it will test your understanding. Okay, so and when you have a time crunch, it becomes very difficult to eliminate those last 2 remaining options, right? Everybody, did you face that challenge in your exam also, right, with respect to cancelling out the 2 options which are last remaining, and you're also feeling the pressure, that you have to solve now and you have to take a decision. Okay, the next problem which on the actual exam date, a lot of students face that they did not flag. They did not flag the question. Now, why flagging is so important? Because what happens is, when you are solving series of questions, okay, obviously there's going to be some question which you will not be able to pick up. So generally what I suggest people is that you mark any answer, even though you're not 100% sure. You have eliminated two options, and the rest is to you're not able to take a decision. Choose one, flag, and write down in a sheet of paper, because you get a paper or a board basically, where you can write down, okay, this was 10th question and the answer is between A and B only. So next time when you come to this question which you have flagged, you know which option to change to. So a lot of people, they did not utilize the flagging option properly. They did not utilize. Okay. Next is, lot of students who could not clear, okay, the exam, they did not have any plan. Okay. Plan for the exam date. Now what does that mean? Plan for the exam date. So now when I'm saying a plan, it basically means that whether you are focusing on, okay, which topics is comfortable to you. So when you look at a question, okay, if you have solved so many questions in the history, then when you start solving the actual exam date, okay, within the next 5 or 10 maximum seconds, you will be able to understand whether this question you will be able to do or not. Okay, so you get a gut feeling. Okay, and you have to take a decision that, okay, I will only solve those questions initially. I'll flag those questions which I do not understand or I am feeling slightly tricky, but I'll only focus on questions. I'll only focus on questions which I understand, okay, or which I'm comfortable with. Which I am comfortable with. Okay, so you should have that thought process in your mind when you were solving. A lot of people did not. They just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what happens if there is a very tough question and you realize it is tough, but you still go and solve? You put time into that. Okay, so it indirectly affects your time. It indirectly affects your morale. So focus was not on having a set of plan that, okay, a lot of people have a plan that I will only solve quant related question first, calculation related question first. A lot of people have a thought process that if the question is related to book 3, I will do it first that. So you need to have some plan in place. Okay, you just don't go blank to the exam. Okay, there's one more problem which a lot of students faced, is that they were, like I said, they were not using the rough sheet. Okay, see, rough sheet is not only given for you to do the calculation. What you can do is you can write down in the rough sheet whichever question you felt is slightly tricky for you. Okay, or you want to make sure that you have to come to these 5 questions back again because you feel that you can choose the right answer. So use the rough sheet properly, write it down that, okay, they were out the question number 10, question number 15, question number 20. These questions I will come back. Okay, because I have some gut feeling that I will be able to pick a right answer. So you should have that inventory of question being created in the rough sheet. If there are certain questions which you feel they're very tough, make an inventory of that also. Flagging is a good way, but also make an inventory, write it down, so that when you come back, when you have last 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you know which question to tackle. So a lot of students, they did not use the rough sheet properly. Okay. So this was the overall analysis that I got when I spoke to people. Now I'm going to talk about what should be your next step. Okay, if you have not cleared the exam, then whether you should go for level for your May exam or August exam. So first I'm going to talk about, one second. First I'm only going to talk about level 1. Okay, so you have attempt in May, August now, and November. Very logically, don't go for November, don't wait for November, because your entire momentum is gone. Okay, now deciding between your May and August. Okay, see, August seems lucrative because what happens is you have just now given an exam, you're not cleared, so automatically your mind will say, okay, I'll wait. Okay, but think about this. If you are a student, or if you can dedicate, okay, say roughly 3 to 4 hours, roughly 3 hours is also good. Okay, then my suggestion would be to go for May. Go for May because you have already studied something. Okay, the basic assumption is this, that you have read properly in the past. Now the only thing is that I could not clear, now I want to give the exam. So concepts are fresh in your mind. Okay, if you have 3 to 4 hours, then definitely you can go for May, but you have to do your basic assessment that, okay, last time suppose I have seen students who have just seen the video in the previous attempt and they went for the exam, they did not solve. Then in this attempt, their focus should be entirely on solving. Revise and solve, revise and solve, and don't break the momentum. Don't break the momentum. That is very, very interesting to have to look out at. Okay, so if you have around roughly 3 hours, you can still go for May exam. That is what my suggestion is. Okay, August exam, obviously lucrative approach because you have around 7 months left. You can easily dedicate 1 to 2 hours properly. Okay, but when you're going for August exam, my suggestion is start fresh. Okay, that means do not have the thought process that, okay, last time my book 3 was very good, so I will do book 3 later. No, because what will happen, by the time you will reach to the exam, you will forget. So when you're going for August, start fresh properly. Okay, start with the solving, start with the content also, go through, do not underestimate any chapter, do not assume that, okay, I understood this chapter last time. Just go through it properly, because you have time. You have time of 6 to 7 months. Okay, if you have time, and if you're a working professional, my suggestion is go for August. That is a good option for you. Okay, but if you're afraid that no, I will forget, then May is also a good option, but 3 hours is required. Ideally 3 hours is required. Weekend you can dedicate 5 hours, so that is more than enough. Okay, I'll move towards level 2 students. Okay, and I'll also be answering questions, so if you have a query, please put it on the chat section. Okay, now level 2. The major challenge in level 2 is that now, first of all, your credit risk has changed slightly. Okay, and your current issues, which is the new issues in the financial market, the last book, basically book number 6. Now this book changes every year, so that is not a problem, but current issues has changed slightly. The rest, all 4 books are almost same. Now the major challenge is that because the new books are not easily available right now, so you cannot go and read credit risk, or you cannot go and read the current issues. You have to wait. So right now you just have to focus on the 4 books. Okay, for level 2, my suggestion is go for August. Now the reason I'm saying August, because the vastness of the exam curriculum, so you will find roughly around 103 chapters, okay, which are there in level 2 now. So you have to read, you have to go through the content again, you have to solve. So especially the credit risk book, so it will take some time for you to give the exam properly. Okay, and my suggestion is start slightly fresh. Okay, keep reading operations risk book every single day, liquidity risk every single day. Okay, and then go for the market risk properly likewise. But the theory books, market, operation and liquidity, if you have completed, again, just read it every single day. That is what a lot of people don't do. Okay, very, very important suggestion. Read the operation risk book every single day. Read it like a novel. Okay, so overall, this was the discussion that I wanted to do with people, that if you could not clear the exam, okay, do not feel disheartened. It is very normal. Okay, and just focus on where you have made mistake, and this, you are the best person to answer it. Okay, a lot of people have called me also, we have talked, but the answer should come from you. Okay, where you have made mistake. And if you're a college student and you underestimated the exam, because a lot of college students, they feel that I'll complete everything in 1 month, 2 months, but when they start doing it 2 months before the exam, they realize the vastness of this exam, the toughness of this exam. Okay, so do not underestimate this. If you have missed, you could not prepare properly for this attempt, go for May exam properly, because this exam can change your career. Okay, any queries now from people who are online? Any queries? So at the start, I think so, Keshav made a question. Are there any jobs available after FRM level 1 plus graduation? Yes, you get, but see, majority chances are that you will get a job only when you clear level 2. That is where the industry recognizes properly. Level 1 you can still get, but the chances are going to be low. Okay, chances are going to be low. Any other queries, guys? Eknath, I have already answered your query. Midun, the video will be available on the live section, so you can have a look at it later also. That's not an issue. And we are planning to do a live session on Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Okay. So day after tomorrow, I'm going to do one more live session talking about how to register for the exam, for the FRM exam. Next week, I'm going to be doing a session on how to prepare now for the last 4 months for the May exam. What should be your strategy? What should be your order if you have not started your preparation? Which topic you can focus more on now, and when should you start solving like that? Okay. 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 Now I was not able to see a lot of questions, so I'm able to see now. Flagging helped me, Madhumita, perfect. What are the quotas required to pass level 2 exam? See, institute has not given any specific quartile, but see, market risk, credit risk, and operation risk. If you are performing good in that means one or two quarter, first and second quartile, then in all of these three books, then in other books, even if you're in the third or slightly four, then you're passing the exam. Okay, then you're passing the exam. Okay, but suppose the inverse happens. If you're in book third quartile, okay, of market, credit, and operation, then you'll have to be in the first quartile of all the other books. Then there is a chances that you will be clearing the exam. Okay, then there is a chance that you will clear the exam. Prisha, I've answered your query. Akhil, answering to your query, if someone is going for L1 in the month of August, then it is difficult to give level 2 in the coming window, November. Yes. It's like if you're working, yes, because August exam result will come by the end of August. But from that day, okay, that means from assuming 1st of September, October, and November, in 3 months, you'll have to complete 100 chapters. Slightly tough. Okay, slightly tough. But that's okay. See, I think so. If you're not working, then you can still try. But working people, very difficult. But if you're going for the exam right now and you have decided that I'll go for level 1 in August, then don't take the pressure of level 2 now. Focus only on level 1. Be like an Arjun. Focus only on level 1. Okay. Madhumita, answering to your query, is it advisable to start level 2 preparation from Feb for August exam? I'm assuming you've cleared. Okay. And now you can go for August exam level 2 from Feb also. Okay, but again, the more you delay, the time frame will slightly increase. So you'll have to dedicate 2.5 hours likewise. But it is still possible. So don't worry. You can still go for the August exam. Darsh, I'm answering to your query. If I give level 1 in May, then what should be the ideal attempt for level 2? November. Give it in November properly and do it with proper dedication. Okay. Eknath, kindly give a brief on exam pattern theory for numerical for part 2. Like I said, theory, if you look at part 2, it's primarily theory. Okay, but it's not an easy theory. Your understanding will be checked. Okay. Calculation, there are very specific chapters which has calculations, and what I have seen, very specific questions come. Okay, from the exam perspective, like CVA related calculation, you will definitely get in the exam. Okay, so out of 80, 15 questions, you will get maximum 15. Okay, if you are lucky, you'll get 15, but majority students, they get 8, 10 question as calculation. Rest everything is theory. Okay, rest everything is theory. I've answered Eknath. Amit, answering to your query, can you put some light on level 1 August and level 2 November? Slightly tough. Okay, but again, that decision depends upon how much time you're dedicating. Okay, because if I look at level 2, 100 chapters, if I have 3 months and I'm completing one chapter every single day with solving, then in 3 months I can complete everything. But you need to have that much amount of time. So completing one chapter for level 1 on average requires you 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours, 3.5 hours with solving. Book-wise sequence to start for level 2 now, if you're going for May or August, because credit risk is not available. So you can start with liquidity risk and operation risk first. Then you can go to market risk or investment management. But liquidity operation do start it now because it's like 30, 35 chapter, 40 chapters. So you'll be able to complete big chunk of the curriculum. Okay. Amit, answering to your query, if you're going for August level 1 and level 2 in November and you're starting together, then it is possible. But you'll have to be very strategic. You need a good plan, because what will happen by the time you reach closer to level 1, you'll also start with level 2. So you need to go have a good plan, but it is possible. That's correct. Yashna, answering to your analyst prep question, worth, I would say okay. I'm not, I won't be able to comment more, because I know a lot of Telegram channels, they have question bank and all, but they are not the actual analyst prep questions. Okay, they are old questions. So don't rely on them. Frankly speaking, don't rely on them. They are not updated. If they are getting stuck anywhere, the questions are wrong, nobody will be there to answer you also. Okay. Nirmal, I'm working, planning to give FRM May. Should I attempt? Time requirement right now, if you're starting from today, for May, every single day, you'll have to, Monday to Friday, try completing 5 chapters. Weekends, solve those question bank of those 5 chapters. So in the month of January, you're completing 20 chapters. In the month of February, 20, March, 20. Keep April month as a buffer and revision with sectional tests and mock papers. Right, Nirmal? I've given you the entire plan. Khushpreet, for level 2, which book shall we start? Liquidity and operations is good. Start with that. Okay. Easy theory chapters, so you will be able to pick it up. But it is lengthy. There are so many chapters. So you'll have to continuously read. So when you complete it first time, then you can just read the textbook later on. Okay. Prisha, any other query, guys? Any other queries? I'm there for 5-10 more minutes if you guys have query. Prisha, answering to your query, I have finished liquidity risk book and others are left. So going in May is a good option. If you have already given the attempt previously, then you can try. And I'm assuming you're not working. So definitely you can try for May if you're not working. Akhil, answering to your query, my membership is getting expired. This is also a very common query that a lot of students have. Membership is not connected to your exam. It is an additional benefit that you're getting. Okay, so when you registered first time, when you took the registration, you paid $400. So they gave you membership for 1 year by default. Okay, but it is not going to impact your exam sitting part. Okay, you have to pay the $600 only. Right, Akhil? Suman, what we have to do after clearing level 2? So see, ideally, first thing that you have to do is change your CV. If you're working for bank, okay, if you're working for any specific role, say for example, accounts, you cannot keep the same CV just writing FRM, you'll get a job. You'll have to change the entire CV. Look at whatever activities you did for whichever company, look at that activity, connect it to risk. Say for example, you're working in accounts and you did reconciliation. Mention that reconciliation, but say that what was the risk that you were mitigating? Fraud risk, okay, or say for example financial leakage of the company. So when you use those risk terms, then your CV will get shortlisted. Okay, then your CV will get shortlisted. Answering to your query, Dirgya, is there any place where we can get a lot of question paper? And also I do provide question bank, so I also have it. Apart from that, old questions are available, but it will take a lot of time. Okay, which are available in the public domain. It will take a lot of time for you to map whether this curriculum is still there or not, and you will not be confident. That is the problem. Okay, all good, guys. I hope I've been able to answer all the queries and give a good perspective of what you should look at, where you made a mistake, okay, in your exam, time management, not solving a good quality question, not reading proper paper, book. Okay, so I hope I've been able to help you and guide you in that term. I'm planning to come live every week now, okay, for you guys preparing for FRM, CFA. I'll be keeping sessions for CFA also and for SCR exam also. I've not been able to do that. So helping you guys to make sure you prepare properly for the exam. When are you going to take a live session for registration? Yes, I'm going to do a live session for registration on this Thursday. Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. So we are planning to go live on Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, going forward also. Right? So I'm closing the session now. Okay, people who have not cleared the exam, okay, do not get disheartened. Okay, for the next attempt, be like Arjun. Okay, focus on your attempt, focus on your preparation. There are going to be a lot of distraction in your way. Okay, like your office and all. You have to manage time. There is no alternative. You have to manage time. Okay, so please make sure that you give your best shot in the next attempt. Okay, final question, how to connect with you? Looking forward to enroll. You can reach out to our WhatsApp number. You will find it on the screen, on the right now on the screen, you will find it. Okay, you can reach out over there. Either I will be there or my team member will be there, so they will help you out. Assuming level 1 is passing in May, can I start for level 2 and November and CFA? Yes, you can do level 2 in if you're a student, level 2 in November is possible, and CFA level 1 in Feb is also possible, because 40% content is same as the FRM level 1. Your quant, fixed income, your derivative portfolio is almost same. You'll be able to pick it up very fast. But FSA, which is your financial statement and reporting analysis, then your ethics, economics, these chapters you'll have to focus properly. Are the entry level roles available in risk modeling? If you're going to risk modeling, you need to have Python, some basic modeling requirement. FRM will help you because then you know the functional side, but you need to have some technical knowledge, then only it will be possible. Priyank, I have not enrolled for the exam, so your team will help me to enroll also. Yes. So I'll be doing a session on Thursday, how to do the registration, so that you can check that. And if you still have a query, you can reach to my team, or else if I'm available, I'll also answer. That's not a problem. Okay. Yeah, you can join the live online. We are going to be starting out with the August batch, live sessions for August. It will get completed by June. Let me know when your classroom batch starts for level 2. For level 2, I do not have a classroom batch. Physical classroom batch is not there. Online batch for May is running. Okay, we are taking a decision about August also. All good, guys? I'm closing the session. So thank you very much for joining in today. Okay, we'll be meeting on Thursday 8 p.m. Bye, guys. Take care.